NEC 525.11 clearly states that service equipment must not be installed in a location accessible to unqualified persons unless the equipment is lockable. This is a fundamental safety requirement designed to protect individuals who may not understand the dangers of electrical equipment. The situation involves a temporary electrical service panel at a construction site accessible to unqualified individuals because the hasp was cut off. The electrical inspector recommended a specific course of action to address this safety concern. This included chaining the panel shut, removing the inspection sticker, contacting the power company to remove the meter, replacing the panel, scheduling a re-inspection, and finally, having the power company reinstall the meter after the panel passes inspection. This recommendation is consistent with prioritizing safety and adhering to the NEC. The concern raised by the administration is whether the panel should have been left in place until a hasp could be installed. However, this approach is problematic for several reasons. Firstly, leaving an unlockable panel in an accessible location violates NEC 525.11a. Secondly, Article 110.3b of the NEC addresses the proper use of listed or labeled equipment. Specifically, it states that equipment must be used or installed in accordance with any instructions included in the listing or labeling. Modifying a panel by installing a hasp, when the panel is not designed or listed for such a modification, violates this article. Installing a hasp that is not part of the original panel design could compromise the panel's integrity and safety features. It could also create a situation where the panel is not properly enclosed or protected, increasing the risk of electrical shock or other hazards. From a licensed master electrician's perspective, the interpretation of the NEC and the inspector's recommendation are correct. Safety must be the primary consideration when dealing with electrical equipment, especially in temporary installations where unqualified persons may be present. Leaving an unlockable panel in place presents an unacceptable risk. There is also the potential liability associated with knowingly leaving a hazardous condition unaddressed. If someone were to be injured due to the unlockable panel, the responsible parties could face legal consequences. The proper course of action, based on the NEC and the inspector's guidance, was to remove the panel from service. This ensures that no unqualified person can access the energized components within the panel. Replacing the panel with one that can be properly locked is the appropriate solution. The steps outlined by the inspector, including chaining the panel shut temporarily, are meant to prevent accidental access while the replacement is being arranged. Removing the inspection sticker indicates that the installation is no longer considered compliant and requires re-inspection after the new panel is installed. Calling the power company to remove the meter is a crucial step to de-energize the panel and eliminate the risk of electrical shock during the replacement process. The re-inspection ensures that the new panel is installed correctly and meets all applicable code requirements. Only after the panel has passed inspection should the power company be called to reinstall the meter and restore power to the temporary service. In conclusion, based on NEC requirements and the inspector's recommendation, removing the panel from service was the correct decision. Attempting to install a hasp would violate Article 110.3b, and leaving the unlockable panel in place would compromise safety. The recommended course of action aligns with industry best practices and prioritizes the well-being of all individuals who may be present at the construction site. It is important to thoroughly document all actions taken, including the communication with the electrical inspector and the rationale for removing the panel from service. This documentation can be valuable in addressing any further questions or concerns from the administration. Always prioritize safety and adhere to the NEC when dealing with electrical installations.